Probably one of the most popular scriptures in the Bible that people love to quote or even have as tattoos is Isaiah 40, chapter 40. And it says this, you've probably heard it when I started. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run, not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. And that sounds awesome, doesn't it? I mean, I want to soar. How about you? We all want to soar. We want to go higher and do better and all of those things. But when you look at being like an eagle, here's an interesting thing. Eagles are amazing birds, obviously our national bird. And there's all kinds of cool facts about them, how fast they can fly, how far they can see, all of these things. One of the leading ways that eagles die, this is fascinating to me. One of the leading ways that eagles die is by drowning. And the way it happens is they will soar down, they will swoop down, and they see a fish in the water, and they'll grab this fish. And sometimes the fish is bigger than what they can lift up, but the eagle won't let go. And so sometimes, maybe you've seen clips of this, the eagle will kind of scoot along the water, steering itself with its wings, trying to get to the shore. But a lot of times they can't make that awkward fly, but they still refuse to let go of what's holding them. And I think before we can actually soar in life, there's some things we got to let go of. There's things that just pull us down. And if you want to soar, here's one. I got 3 quick things for you. One of the things you got to let go of is worry. Worry is a huge thing. You say, but I am worried, Craig. There's this and there's that, and I got this going on and I got that going on. Here's what worry does. Worry brings the fear of tomorrow to drown the joy of today, ignoring God's provision of the past. See, we forget how God provided for us before. He's always provided for us, but it's almost like we can't seem to bring that memory into the present to let go of what we're worrying about, because God took care of the last thing, and He'll keep taking care of the stuff as long as we let go of it. But when we just latch our talons into those things and don't let go, it's really hard. Number one, for us to soar where we want to be, and it's also really hard for God to take care of it when we're holding on to it so tightly. And so worry is one of those things you just got to let go of. 1 Peter 5:7 says this. It says, give all your worries and cares to God because He cares for you. And so if you want to soar, it's one of the things you got to let go of. Here's the second thing you got to let go of. You got to let go of comparing, criticism, and complaining. See, we compare ourselves to others, right? And every time we compare ourselves to others, then we get all self-critical. We start criticizing ourselves because we're not as good as them, not as fast as them, not as skinny as them, not as happy as them, whatever. And so we start destroying ourselves. And then, ironically, we start complaining. And so the comparing leads to being self-critical, which just leads to complaining. And let me tell you something. No complaining person has ever soared above anything, right? Because it just locks them into that moment, and it's tough to let go of. So if you want to soar like an eagle, here above everything, here's some things. First one, you gotta what? You gotta let go of the worry. Stop worrying about stuff, no matter how big or small it is. You can be concerned about it, but not worried about it. Let God carry it. Second thing is, comparing yourself to others never works. And here's the third thing. I think if we can do this third one, it'll be a big step in the right direction. And it's forgiving. Unforgiveness is one thing that locks you into that moment in time. Whatever somebody did to you, no matter how bad it is, and I'm sure some things are horrible, no matter how bad it was, if we don't forgive them, it just locks us in time to that moment. And it stops our ability to move forward. It stops our ability to soar higher. I think forgiveness, I just strongly believe that forgiveness is still one of the most powerful forces on the planet. I think it might have been Plato, Socrates, I forget who it was. Somebody really smart and important said, holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Unforgiveness affects us more than it affects the person that we're trying to get even with. It never works and it never goes that way. So if you find yourself drowning in some things in life, if you feel yourself being pulled under, forgiveness is never easy, but here's one thing. Unforgiveness is incredibly heavy. So if you're drowning in stuff and you read that scripture, I want to soar like an eagle above everything, there's some things you got to let go of. You got to let go of worry. You got to let go of self-criticism and comparing. And you got to let go of that unforgiving moment, that person that you can't seem to forgive. It's time to forgive. And I guarantee that forgiveness will set you free like you have never experienced before. I hope this has helped you just a little bit take a step in the right direction and maybe spread your wings and soar a little bit higher today.